Hi everyone, my name is Renee, Program Officer with EcoSchools Canada. On behalf of EcoSchools, thank you for viewing this webinar as part of the 2023 EcoSummit. I'm pleased to introduce Erin Wildeboer from Strathcona County to present this webinar, How Students Served Wasted Food to Elected Officials and Got Away with It. Erin Wildeboer has been in the Waste Diversion Program liaison for Strathcona County for the past 15 years. Thinking outside the box, or waste cart, is her specialty. Between throwing fun events, visiting over 45 classrooms every year, or running the Community Reuse Center, she's always coming up with new ideas on how to educate residents on the importance of waste reduction. Working with 31 schools in Strathcona County is something Erin is passionate about. The EcoSchools program has been easy and fun to help schools participate in. Helping her former high school become Platinum certified has been a highlight. Watching teachers get excited and getting their students involved in everything from worms and bees to food waste reduction and air quality inspires her. The kids are proud of the changes they make, and we know those actions stick with them, creating amazing stewards for our earth right in our own community. We would also like to acknowledge that the EcoSummit has been made possible with support from Natural Resources Canada. We're glad to have you join us for this presentation, and now I will pass it over to Erin.
Thanks, Renee. Hey everybody, I'm Erin. My job in a nutshell is to educate residents in Strathcona County on how to keep waste out of the landfill. I'm pretty lucky because I have a great team. I'm encouraged to be very creative. I've got a budget that allows me to try new things and a community that embraces actions to become more environmentally friendly. So a bit about where I'm from. Strathcona County, also known as Sherwood Park, has about 100,000 residents. We're about 20 minutes outside of the city of Edmonton in Alberta, and we have a large rural community as well as urban. And we have two major school boards with about 31 schools within Strathcona County. So I want to tell you the story today about a fantastic lunch made out of rescued food by one of our local high schools. But before I do, I just want to give you a few more details. So I'm going to share my screen and show you some photos. Okay. So part of my job, in the one that I love the most, is educating the schools. Waste in our world is part of our grade 4 curriculum, and we've worked really hard over the past 10 years to build relationships with all of our grade 4 teachers. So we do about 45 presentations in classrooms every year. A majority of the work is in grade 4, but we do tailor a presentation to any grade, any teacher, any project they want to do, we're game. So this is my wonderful assistant, Amanda. She helps me going into all the schools. And she also works at our recycle station and our enviro service station where we take our household hazardous waste. We do tours of this facility for all of any grade. Again, usually grade 4s, but any grade can come. And we'll be able to expand it quite a bit now because another project I'm working on is our Hodgepodge Lodge. It's a community reuse building. And in that community reuse building located at this site, it now has a classroom space. It looks small, but we are able to fit 33 kids in there, and we can do some crafts with them. So we're really excited about the opportunity to bring students into this space. So I was introduced to the EcoSchools program last year, and it's by far hands down the best program I've seen as far as accreditation programs. It's the easiest to use, it has the best resources, and the feedback I've been getting from the teachers is that it's a lot of fun. And the students really like being able to do hands-on projects, so it's really great. My job at the county is a little bit unique in that I'm not a teacher, so I am not directly in the schools, but because of the relationships we've built with the schools, we can work with them to help make the connections between the tasks that they have to do with the EcoSchools program and the programs or resources that are available within Strathcona County. So for example, the building a school garden, I can help them connect to the department in the county that can give them a free garden to start at their school. So it makes things a lot easier for them, and they can get a lot more tasks done this way. So Salisbury Composite High School is a high school that's near and dear to my heart, because it was my old high school, but they have amazing teachers there like Miranda in the pink, and Andrew Harrison is another really fantastic teacher at this school. He started an environmental studies program, and him and his students are doing the bulk of the EcoSchools tasks. They were actually EcoSchool Platinum last year, their first year at this. So it was really great to see, and to see them get recognized. We had a big presentation for them with council and our school boards and everything else. So the students were really excited about the recognition as well. Miranda is a chef by trade, but also a teacher, and she's passionate about teaching her students everything from where food comes from, how to use it in the best way, and how to keep it out of the landfill. She also wants to teach her students about giving back to the community. And one of the great things that came out of this event that we'll talk about is the connection to our food bank. She collects food from the food bank that they can't distribute for a number of different reasons and turns it into food with her students, like desserts, sauces, soups, and then gives it back to them. So it's a great way to reduce the food waste and to get the food into the hands of the people that need it. And the students really love that they're giving back to their own community. Strathcona County works very closely with the Recycling Council of Alberta. We're part of their Circular Cities project. And as part of this, they hosted a circular economy summit at our county facility for 80 or so elected officials from across the province. Because they know myself and my manager, Leah, and they know that we like to think outside the box, they were excited to get us involved. We were excited because we've always wanted to do a luncheon or a dinner or an event using rescued food. So this was the perfect connection. It also worked really well because this building happens to be right beside Salisbury Composite High School, and we knew that Miranda and her students would be available for this. We contacted Miranda in August and threw this idea out to her that she would need to come up with a menu, even though she didn't know what food she was going to get. We wanted only locally sourced items if possible, if they weren't rescued. It would be about 80 people, including elected officials from across the province, including our council and our mayor. And she would need to do it right as school started because the event was October 6th. So she would get her new students right in the door and just jump right into it. So this wasn't your average catering gig for these guys. And she's crazy, so she said yes. So we were really excited. So when they say it takes a village, they're not kidding. Leah and I got to work contacting everybody we could think of. So food came in from all over. Creekside Saskatoon Berry Farm is just a little berry farm, just actually down from my house. And they're a berry farm that decided to start vegetables because people were asking for them. However, last year they didn't have a very good berry farm or berry year. So they had a lot of extra vegetables left over. So they were able to donate all sorts of things to us. These are just photos of some of the things that they donated to us, including these really fun candy cane beets. These are some of the students preparing the food. Attracted to Apples is another orchard that's close to us. They were able to donate 50 pounds of apples for this. I'm not sure the kids wanted to see another apple for quite a while after this, but the BOREAL Harvest Farm, another local farm, was able to donate a lot of pumpkins to us. And being that it was in October, it was great. This is Henry. This is a friend of mine. He was diagnosed with GM3 synthase deficiency. So his sisters, his two older sisters that grow chickens, and they sell their eggs to help raise funds for research for his syndrome. And so this was a really great way to give back locally, although obviously not a rescued food, but we wanted to make sure that it had some impact on our local environment as well. There's more of the kids chopping up tomatoes and squash. Hanson Beef was a great connection. So they use organic material that we collect from our residential and school organics programs to grow crops that feed their livestock. So it's a very full circle program. And so he was able to donate some of the pork that he grows to the event. As I mentioned before, the food bank was a surprising connection. They have a surprising amount of food that can't be used every given day. So Miranda and her students were able to take all that food and use it for the meal. And then they also came up with that connection that they could do this year round and still being able to give back to the food bank with the food that they took in. So this was a really great connection. CBC just did a news article on them as well. So that was great to see. These are some of the blueberries from the food bank. The Real Canadian Superstore also donated about 100 pounds of potatoes. Again, I'm not sure the students want to see another potato for quite a while. Speaking to the grocery stores, it was encouraging to see that we've done something similar to this quite a few years ago, and the feedback was that the grocery stores didn't want to talk about food waste. However, now there's a lot more that's being done in order to keep food out of the landfill or even being composted, whether it's giving back to local organizations or even to farmers for their animals. So that was really encouraging to see. Again, if we couldn't get it rescued, we wanted to make sure it was locally sourced. So we had coffee and breakfast and some great treats from all over Strathcona County and in the city of Edmonton. Goodwill was another really great connection for us. We work closely with their sustainability coordinator, who is fantastic, and they do great work in the province of Alberta. They were able to collect all of the plates, cups, knives, everything that we needed for the event, and gave it to us to use. So thankfully we had the commercial dishwasher at the school, so we were able to wash it beforehand and afterwards, and we're able to just give it back so the kids sell it in their stores when we were done. It also made for a really eclectic look when all the plates were different, all the cups were different. So that was really fun. The other one that we did was the Hodgepodge Lodge. We collected mugs of all kinds from there. So we had those to give out to our guests so they could keep their mug if they wanted, if they really liked it. And again, there was an eclectic mix of all sorts of different mugs there. Goodwill also has a really great program where they employ people with disabilities, and they make these centerpieces. They're candles made out of teacups. So we had those on the table that we could give to the guests as well. So that was a great way to educate those on the great work that Goodwill does during our event. So to say that this luncheon was delicious is an understatement. I was blown away by the quality of food that these students could prepare. It made me want to go back to high school and retake this class because it was so inspiring. The students love being able to serve the elected officials, and we gave them a lot of recognition when they were here. They helped plate everything, they helped bring it all over, and they kept everything refreshed, so they were extremely helpful and got a lot of recognition out of it. This banana dessert, oh my goodness, I still think about it. We've had great comments like, this is the best borscht I've ever eaten, and I consider myself a borscht connoisseur, was one comment we got. So my purpose of the presentation today was to show you what is possible. I realize that there are many factors that went into making this a success, and not all of this can be replicated, but I hope you got some inspiration or ideas on how this might be possible for you. So the takeaway would be just to ask the questions, think outside the box, just see what takes shape. I think this is something we should encourage our students to do every day, because you just never know what they're capable of. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to chat with anyone. You can send me an email and we can be in touch.